It is time for a potential flight week Starbase summary as we recap the events that happened the last couple days out at Starbase. Going to be a lot of Booster 20 in this, including a static fire coming right up. But my name is John. I'll see y'all down in the comments because y'all like to tell me how big a cord of wood is, apparently. I don't know everything, but I talk a lot, and I appreciate when y'all help me down below in the comments. Good feedback last time on what y'all like to see in these videos, what you find valuable, what you want to get more of. So, kicking it off here, we are looking at Booster 20, and it is making the turn over here, going around between the Mega Bays on its way to Pad 2. Now, one of the things that happens before flight is a static fire, and we hadn't seen that happen yet. So why is Booster 20 rolling out to the pad in this time lapse? Well, coming up shortly, we're going to see the static fire on Pad 2. And I got to say, the static fires on Pad 2 look absolutely insane. Down here, we're looking at the booster transport stand. You can sneak a peek inside the nice little portals. I think that's so people can get in and out of it, but it also lets us see what's going on as the Raptors go by. Colleen's getting a tilt up the side of the booster as it goes past here. Gosh, those things are big. You're like right next to it too. That's they let us sort of be across the road when it turns out of Remedios and heads up that way. So that's where that angle would be coming from. Of course, here's the Star Factory on the left-hand side, and Colleen rolling out there to get us a couple different shots of booster rolling out towards the pad. Now, spoilers, I've already told you there's a static fire coming up. I'm going to do it as usual and see if I can't be quiet through one of the static fires so y'all can listen to the audio. But remember, if you ever just want to hear sights and sounds of Starbase, some of the videos have audio on them. Some of them just have an ambient mix that we put in, so it's not just totally silent. You can always click the little gear icon and you can change audio tracks. I believe under Klingon, you will find the non-commentary track, and here on the commentary track, well, I'll do the talking. So, like we said, lots of Raptors in there. Got a couple Raptors you can see the numbers of. If I'm not mistaken, the fine folks over at Starbase Tracking have identified the numbers of most of those Raptors that are on Booster 20. So I know that they're over on socials. If you haven't found the Starbase Tracking account and you want to see a diagram of all the different numbers that are on the booster for Flight 13, that's a cool place to get caught up. Here's one of the robotic roadside cameras, CP11 and Skycam over there catching stuff. Colleen caught up a little bit, drove a little bit after, then on the sidewalk here. Somebody needs to take an edger to that sidewalk. It looked much nicer. She's like a little path. The shrubberies grow naturally, but adjusting the side of the encroaching foliage on the sidewalk there. So here we are. Booster 20 arriving all the way out at Pad 2, maneuvering its way into the pickup position between the Chopsticks on Pad 2. I'll see if it ends up in this video, because there were some actuator problems. Booster actually ends up getting stuck on the mount here in just a little bit, but I think we've got that repair in the video. Let's go ahead with the time lapse here as Booster 20 gets lifted up onto the launch mount at Pad 2. Yay or nay, is it just the launch mount now? Still hasn't technically gone orbital, but is designed to support orbital operations. Do we need to say every time? There's somebody in the comments that's like, well, actually, you don't need to say orbital anymore because it's just a launch mount. They're all orbital. You know. I refer you to Kennedy Space Center. Actually, the Cape side, Space Canaveral, Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, where there are SLC. All right, SLC 37, SpaceX building some stuff there right now. If you keep up with our flyover, you'd know that. But it's Space Launch Complex. We didn't drop the space whenever we started getting to space. So it's still Space Launch Complex 37. It's like, it's a launch complex. It's supposed to be for space. Should this be a space launch mount? Is it just a launch mount? I mean, maybe at the Space Force Station, it's good to identify that this is to send payloads into space. We're not launching it at other places, right? So maybe launch mount is a little bit too generic. I don't know. You can argue the merits of each side down in the comments. I do read everything. I scroll through everything, and I have a good time catching up with the comments. I respond to a lot of them. What was that? 91, 87, 84, 15, 6, 58, 150. I'm going to go with 4. It really did look like a 4 there. Sounds like we're calling down an American football count. Or say there's 126 and 17 or 170 something. You know, over on McGregor Live, we recently saw it tick over 200s. 200 stenciled on the side of the Raptors. I do know, see some of these coily cables, some extra sensors and stuff like that, I think that those are likely going to get removed. Of course, we're expecting this to go back to, again, let me look up. Is it already rolled back? I don't see it on the pad. Did it actually already roll back? I think it did, actually. Anyways, it goes back to finish its testing. I think that's the longest I've ever been quiet on one of these videos. I'll need to remind the editor it's Colleen's shot there where I was quiet so we could play the sound at full volume. If you want to hear it from all the different angles, maybe you can switch over to the other track. That thing just kept going. It's like the Energizer rocket of bunnies. That doesn't make any sense. You know the rabbit that keeps going and going and going? It's like that. It just kept going. It's from one of the roadside shots here. Gah. Oh, did it come? Oh, did it stop just short of us? The mechanics of that are so crazy. This is amazing. How it sort of got right there, and then it got sucked back in, and it's not just a wave coming at you directly the entire time. It's almost like it sort of billows out, but then I guess Mr. Bernoulli gets involved, and the flow behind it sucks it back a little bit, and then it's going sideways, and it sucks. That's really crazy sort of plume interactions. I guess the flow, the outflow of the plume from the bottom of that is actually really nuts. Oh, look at this. It looks like we dumped the exposure on this camera down so we could get a little bit more, I mean, roughly more details in on the flame. These 24/7 cameras that have lived for years out at Starbase are definitely difficult cameras to get the best quality shots from. But there you go. Was this thing like 25 seconds? It's a ridiculously long static fire there on the mount, especially with the whole rocket, all the engines. I guess I say the whole rocket, the whole booster, actually, correctly. All the engines running. Look at those wings of exhaust go out, and the exhaust it like billows out, and it gets sucked back in, and it gets pushed sideways, and it roils back. Some of that exhaust is flowing back towards the mount, it looks like. I should really say the exhaust, some of the plumes are flowing back towards the direction of flow of the main exits. It's like it billows out some, but then that suction effect, the higher velocity moving fluids, gases, technically, there in the background, sort of creating that lower area of pressure and sucking some of them back. Wow! This is going to be the tower, the camera on the tower at South Beach, because Hopper is in the way. You know something? I'm glad we put that in there. This camera's probably about 15 feet off the ground and has lived on the beach for a very long time. Couple different lever arms at play. But hot diggity dog, I said it correctly that time. That was shaking like crazy when the sound hit. Camera's about 1.2, 1.3 miles away. All right, so we got some detanking, and we need to get the booster off the pad. SpaceX, of course, tweeting out that they had completed the successful static fire of Booster 20 in preparation for Flight 13, but still some closeout work that needs to happen, so we need to get it off the pad. Here, I don't think we're quite there yet. This is just a shot of the top. Of course, the ship QD doesn't need to be in. There's the ship QD, but it doesn't need to be in because there's no ship on top of it. Chopsticks are moving up a little bit. Let's go through the exact sort of process. So they're moving the chopsticks up. They were already sort of in the right place. There is a huge ag. You see that white part that's just exiting the top of the screen? There you see in the middle, sort of the root of the chopsticks where it connects to the tower. You see that huge white donut-looking thing? So, you get a cable and it's got that little ferrule thing on the bottom. It's nothing like that. It has nothing to do with that. But it sort of looks like that, right? The little extended part is just painted white here. So here we ran through a bunch more of these chopstick tests. And the interesting thing is that somewhere in this area, somewhere during these events, they saw something they didn't like with one of the chopstick actuators. Here the chopsticks are coming back down again, bringing them to the lowest level. And here we have the work on the right chopstick actuator. Good. I didn't know exactly when it was going to come up. I knew that we had it in the video because I reviewed the sort of list before we got into it. But they did not like what they saw with this actuator. And instead of trying to repair it up there, even if it's possible to repair it up there, they brought out all the folks and they disconnected it from both ends. You see that long piston that extends into the chopsticks, and then the other end sort of connected at the root pivot there. And they brought the whole thing down. Now, of course, they're prepared for stuff like this, and it looked like they had another one of them. Here's the replacement actuator. Got rolled out in a special little actuator stand, gantry, jig, whatever you want to call it. Hooked up to the crane. Lifted up. I want to make like the NASCAR sounds, right? Like they need the impact wrench out there. That wasn't really a very good impact wrench impersonation. But they got the actuator reinstalled in due time, in short time. And they moved it around. Got the lights on it there. It's sort of like flexing it out to make sure the range of motion is all correct. And once they were happy with it, they moved it down to the lifting position again, and they grabbed a hold of the booster. Apparently we didn't get the removal of the booster in there, but we rolled booster 20 back to Mega Bay 1. This is a nighttime operation. Thought that this was supposed to happen during the day. Problems with the chopstick actuator are moved it into the night, but of course this is SpaceX. This isn't like, oh, there's a problem with the actuator. The launch is delayed a month. It's SpaceX. There's a problem with the actuator. They're going to get out there tonight and see what they can do about it and get it replaced and get the booster off the pad and roll it back. Now, there was, on Saturday, yesterday, an official post from SpaceX saying that the launch is scheduled for no earlier than the 16th. No earlier than, doing some work. I saw a bunch of people out there trying to get your clicks. Like, oh God, official launch date. It's now scheduled, firm date for the 16th. It might go the 16th. It might. But if you're a veteran Texas tank watcher or rocket enthusiast, you know that no earlier than means just that. They may shoot for the 16th, it may be the 17th, it may be after that. But it is possible this week, coming up on Thursday the 16th, there is a launch. Might be time to travel down there if you're looking to get down there to see the flight. But in any event, folks, it's the Starbase Summary. My name's John. Like I said, see you down in the comments. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Hey, 5-year anniversary of Starbase Live going live. 120 million views. So appreciate y'all hanging out with us, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.